principle behind the proverb of as above, so below basically says that everything is energy and that matter is the densest form of energy. It's the slowest moving form of energy. This is why it can be seen with the naked eye or experienced through the touch. A higher form of energy would be thought. So let's paint a picture of the course of my day using really broad, generalized strokes. In the course of one day, I think how many things? Thousands of things. In the course of one day, I say how many things? 20. In the course of one day, I do how many things? 5. 5 things done compared to thousands of things thought of. Why the chasm? Well, it's because the dense energy is encumbered by its own physicality, dimensions, time, space, as well as the gravitational pull coming from the Earth's core. It has to compete with that all day long. Eventually, the body gets tired, the conscious mind needs to lay down and rest. But while we lay down and rest, and the mind shuts off, the subconscious mind keeps going, keeps taping everything, as well as whatever that is making my lungs breathe and my heart beat at all times. Never gets tired. If I was to be insanely intelligent, you would say I was what? You'd say I was bright. Bright like stars in the night sky. Bright like the sun. Let's for a moment pretend we're living in a dream house and it's 3 a.m. and we're tired and we want to go to bed. So we go down the hallway to our bedroom and we open the door, but it's dark in there, the lights are off. So we flip on the switch, light comes on, just like that. Coagulates the whole room, animates everything, makes everything come alive, makes the place habitable, even though it is something that is not tangible. You can't grab onto it. You can only experience it and see it. And remember how it was to screw in that light bulb. Quick little 5-second ordeal. The light bulb itself very, very light. Also, the light fixture is always in a fixed point. Even if the light is on a lamp and the lamp gets moved around, the light will always be the center of its universe, shining outwardly. By contrast, the bed, the bookshelf, all that shit, the bed frame, we had to carry that up, screw it together, long project, dense energy, slow, laborious, tiresome. Couldn't wait for that fucking shit to get over. However, without the bed, the bookshelf, the bed frame, the room is just an empty room of vacant space inhabited by light. You need the dense energy or you do not have a bedroom. But without the light, you would just have a dark cave that nobody wants to go into. So in order to have a fully functioning living space, you need both. And life is what happens in between the two. Also, just as the light fixture is fixed, the bed, the bookshelf, the frame, that can always be moved. It is always in a state of motion. Just as earth energy is always in a state of motion. But just like the bookshelf, etc., it's a very slow motion, as in we are rotating right now, but we cannot even experience it. But before we know it, it's going to be 10 o'clock at night, and we'll be like, how the fuck did that happen? When did that get here? Also, 365 to make a rotation around the sun. When I was born and I inhabited this avatar, when I was 8 years old, I was like, when am I going to be an adult? Now I'm knocking on the door of 40, thinking, how did that fucking get here so fast? And it got here by living for 40 years. And it's a clause in my soul contract that I get to age in reverse. But when I die and my soul leaves this avatar, the avatar will just disintegrate back into Mother Matter. And even that is going to take a really long time. So, whereas the highest form of energy, the light, travels quickly, shines outwardly, densest form of energy moves very, very slowly. Whereas the sun is in a fixed location at all times, shining out into all things, Earth is in a constant state of motion, and she revolves around the sun. The two could not be more opposite. Now all things on earth grow up towards the sun. Sun shines down lovingly into all things on earth. Magnetism, polarity, yin, yang. You do not have one without the other. In order for life to happen, you need both. Now, since physically all things will grow up towards the sun, in a very real, practical way, the dense energy, as a rule, will always follow the highest. However, the dense energy is where all the power is. In that, I could be inspired all day long, but until I take a solid, concrete action in the three-dimensional terrain, what are we even talking about? So, neither one is superior to the other. In order to have a fully functioning life, you need both. Now, my dense energy, this avatar, all day long, goes through different situations. I put my avatar into different situations. Now, at all times, through my nerves, my senses, sight, taste, touch, smell, I am taking in the stimuli and the environment going on around me, and I am getting a feeling about it. My dense energy then takes all of that information, turns it in to the higher form of energy, which then makes a judgment call about the best way to respond to what is happening around me for a beneficial outcome for not only itself, but also my dense energy. In order to have a good outcome, the two must come into agreement and be in alignment. They must meet at the heart space. This is alignment. Just as trees in the forest, the crown of the tree does not berate the root system, and the root system always grows up towards the crown of the tree, and the two of them work together. Trees do not grow like this. They grow straight up and down. So the principle behind the proverb of as above, so below basically says that if my above is looking pretty good and pretty healthy, the actions that I am going to take in my below are going to reflect that outwardly, thus manifesting a reality that reflects the vision of my above. However, if my above is off in some way and skewed, the actions I take in my below are going to reflect that as well. And then the external world will just mirror the internal world, send that information back to me, a skewed version, which then will turn up into the higher form of energy, which then will read it and have a skewed response. The two are just one big machine feeding into each other. I hope I'm making that clear. So, what does all of this have to do with the whole of humanity being enslaved, needing to free itself mentally, and descend into the fifth dimension of human existence as we move into the age of Aquarius? This has everything to do with that. Everything. I'm going to be filming more videos discussing this in a more incrementalized fashion. That way I can do them with a modicum of consistency. So, if you found this to be interesting, or at least entertaining, one, I would invite you to share this. Number two, I invite you to come back and check out more videos as we take a journey into the subtle and into the fifth dimension, as we go on into the age of Aquarius. So, from my heart to your heart, till the next time I see you, namaste. Take care, stay healthy, be well.